Welcome to the Burrillville School Committee, regular session, September 10th, 2019, at 6:30 PM, Burrillville High School Media Center, 425 East Avenue, Harrisville. Members present, all with the exception of Alice Leclerc, that will not be here this evening. She's excused. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recognition. Boy Scouts elevation to Eagle Scouts. Are any of the Boy Scouts here this evening? Okay. For the record, Jacob Gadsby, Paul Miller, Peter Spencer, Patrick Sylvester. We do have certificates of award for them. It's a tremendous accomplishment for them, and I will hand deliver them their certificates to make sure that they get them.
Congratulations to all of them, all four of them.
Agreed. Item 3, consent agenda. Approval of minutes, warrants and invoices, bids.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular minutes of the August 13th, 2019, and executive meeting, August 13, 2019, and to approve the warrant number 2 for the month of August, dated September 19th, 2019, in the amount of $1,937,632.52, and to approve the bids. The first for the low-temperature cook and hold ovens be awarded to Trimark, South Attleboro, Mass., in the amount of $7,950.17. And the other bid, I would like to approve recommending of the Levy Rink roof replacement bid be awarded to the Construction Junction in Slatersville, Rhode Island, in the amount of $65,362.50. Second.
Motion and second, discussion. Robin, for the rink, that's going to come from the rink reserve fund?
Yes. So, you're really awarding the bid, it's going to be contingent upon, the rink receiving foundation funding for this $5,000. We're just waiting for confirmation. Looks good that the rink is going to receive the grant.
Was it 25,000 grant?
I'm sorry?
25,000 grant?
35,000.
35? Wow, that's great.
So I don't believe it will move forward if he doesn't receive the grant.
Okay, so, would you amend your motion? We'll do them separately.
So moved.
Okay, thank you. So we did approve the first,
One for the cook and hold ovens.
this one's not been voted on yet, right? The first one.
yet.
We have a motion, we have a second discussion, just on the first one,
On the first one, no.
okay? Just on the first one. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and I'll accept a motion for the second one with the language that Robin just,
Contingent upon receiving the $35,000 grant.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
motion is second, discussion? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Presentations by the public to the school committee. We have none this evening. Public comment. Anyone wishing to speak this evening? Having none. Item 6, personnel, appointments, leaves of absence, retirements, resignations.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion for the following appointments. Amanda Alary, grade 1, 1 year only at A.T. Levy, effective 8/26/2019. Emma Rogers, speech language pathologist for the district, effective 8/26/2019. And Christopher Beluzzi, 1-to-1 adaptive physical education teacher, Burrillville High School, 1920, effective immediately.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the leave of absence request for Dr. Whaley, Principal, Burrillville High School, effective 9/25/19 through 11/1/2019.
Second.
Motion and second. Discussion? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion for the following appointments as presented for the athletics for 2019-2020.
I will second that.
Motion and second. Discussion?
Mr. Chair, I'm going to recuse myself from voting for, do I have to recuse myself from voting for all of them or just the one?
Maybe just the one you may have a potential conflict.
Okay, I'm going to recuse myself from voting for Joseph Hauser as he's a relative of mine.
Very good. Ann, good with that? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion for the appointments for the Bella Burrillville High School. All positions are paid at $45 per hour for up to 4 hours per week as needed. And I guess one other caveat here with Erin Cahill, lead teacher, $45 per hour up to 4 hours per week as needed, as well as 1 hour per week at $30 per hour. The rest of the appointments, I would make the motion as presented.
I will second that.
Motion second. Discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, again, I'm going to recuse myself as Catherine Hauser is a relative of mine, so I'm going to recuse myself from voting for her.
Okay, Ann, you good with that?
Yep.
Sylvia, how about your list of relatives? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
I missed who was seconded, sorry.
Dot, second.
Oh, so sorry. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make appointments for Bella at the middle school. Again, all positions are paid at $45 per hour for up to 4 hours per week as needed and as presented.
I'll second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And, sorry, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion also for the following two appointments. Andrew Godfrey, the Robotics Club, volunteer, and Melissa Massey, Reading Specialist, Deer Farm Elementary, effective September 16th, 2019.
Second.
Motion a second. Any discussion? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And one additional appointment for the Bella Middle School, position again at $45 per hour, up to 4 hours per week as needed. Kelly Keynes will be added to that list.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Fiscal year 20 BSD budget update.
Motion open?
Motion open.
Second.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Barring any questions, I'll accept motion to receive and file.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Fiscal year 20 rink budget update.
Make a motion to receive and file.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 8, superintendent's report.
Thank you, Chair Prasad. A few items on my report today. I want to start with the start of the year update. On the 26th, the staff reported to buildings for a full day of building level orientation. And on the 27th, all staff were back here at the high school for a full day of professional development. Activities included workshops on topics such as culturally responsive practices, CPR, AED, and first aid, Eureka math assessment, legal issues for educators, navigating the teacher retirement system. That was a particularly interesting one. Online coursework, Google Suite, running records, essay grading, data collection, Skyward lesson scheduling, getting started with Twitter, and advanced placement course updates. It was a very busy day. Teachers were engaged and excited to return to school. And on the 29th, of course, our students returned as well. Mrs. Mayu and I visited every school. Opening day on all accounts went very well. A few minor hiccups, but overall it was a successful start to the 2019-2020 school year, so we look forward to a great year. Moving on, next item. Bill Robinson, Commission and I met with Torado and Associates to discuss our 5-year capital improvement project plan. CIP is a long planning process that's really complex and in-depth, involving several stages of submission to RIDE for reimbursement eligibility. Also will involve the use of an educational facility master plan, complete with a demographic study. Company will be providing what they call visioning sessions, as well as a workshop for school committee. Once complete, just to give you a kind of an overview, once complete, the 5-year CIP will drive capital improvement projects for the next 5 years with eligibility requirements from RIDE that begin at 50% and could go as high as 60%, depending on qualifying projects. So again, it's a multi-step process, several deadlines that we must meet in order to remain eligible for the reimbursement with the Department of Education. So we really have to follow a strict process. As you know, we're eligible on many of our capital improvement projects. Our rate this year went down slightly to just over 50%. I believe last year it was around 54%. Much of the process needed to qualify for reimbursement is mandated by RIDE, so there's really strict rules that we have to follow. To that end, I'm recommending that we hold a school committee workshop. Recommended date for that would be September 26th. And the reason I'm asking for September 26th is I will be sending a letter tomorrow to the town council requesting to present at the September 25th meeting to go over the CIP process with the town council as well, so they're aware of the process. I did meet with Town Manager Wood last week. Robin and I met with him and explained some of the process to him, and he recommends that we request to be put on the agenda for the 25th meeting with the town council. So I'd like to follow that up on the 26th with a school committee workshop. We will have Torado and Associates representatives from that company here, as well as some information from the educational facility master planner company that is employed by Torado, and they'll kind of guide the conversation so we can cull down the long list of projects that we have to get to something that's a little more manageable and prioritize our capital improvement projects for the next 5 years. Following that, on September 30th, the company will be coming out, the planning company, master planning company will be coming out for a visioning session. That'll be September 30th. Shortly thereafter, we'll begin holding building committee meetings to prioritize and finalize projects for the CIP. So our initial Stage 1 application to the Department of Ed is due September 15th. And then the final Stage 2, which really is an outlined, more detailed list of which projects we're going to be including in our CIP that would be reimbursable, and a commitment to fund those projects that is due in mid-February. So we're in the beginning stages, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of attention to detail. It's, in all honesty, a lot of hoops to jump through to make sure that we don't miss any deadlines, we don't miss any required mandates from the Department of Ed that would jeopardize our eligibility for reimbursement. So again, in the short term, the timeline we're looking at is a presentation on the 25th to the Town Council, a school committee workshop on the 26th, and then the visioning session on the 30th.
Will we be expecting Torado to come to the town council meeting?
He could if we request it. I'm not expecting him to. I don't know if that would be helpful. I'm just going to kind of present a overview process of it so people are aware of what the process looks like and what the dates are. We'll be doing a more detailed, as we have before our Stage 2 application, when we have more detailed projects and specific amounts for those projects, we'll be doing a more detailed presentation to the town council at that time, so that we'll have a concrete number attached to our CIP.
We'll send out notice on the September 26th meeting.
Yeah, so I'm recommending a workshop on September 26th.
Are you going to have that here at the high school or down at the admin building?
We can, either one, with whatever you
Admin is
choose.
fine.
Is that the
Why do you
pleasure
want
of the
to?
committee, whatever the committee wants?
Would you expect a lot of the council members would come to that 26th?
I don't know. Did you say there's a deadline on the 15th, too?
September 15th. Yes, it's Stage 1. It's basically a letter of intent in some,
You got that ready?
yeah. Yeah. That'll be, if it's not sent already, it'll be sent probably tomorrow.
I would have a hunch that several would be interested.
So maybe we would do it here.
Else.
Maybe we would do it here just because the admin conference gets a little crowded.
No problem.
shortly.
Oh, no problem.
Okay,
Could we schedule that for 6 o'clock on the 26th? And I'll have an agenda.
that sounds good with me.
Thank you. And my final item, the BPAC 5K is scheduled for September 29th. That is 2 weeks later than the original date of September 15th. So the original date was pushed back due to a conflict with the CVS Downtown 5K. They have a few more runners in that race than we're going to have for the BPAC 5K. So as part of the planning committee, we're looking for assistance to help defray cost of the event. I mentioned at the last planning meeting that the school committee may be willing to help with that. For $500, the school committee will be recognized on the BPAC 5K T-shirt that all participants will receive. Any other amount that the committee seems would be willing to give towards defraying the cost of the BPAC 5K would be appreciated. I wanted to bring that up for discussion to see if there's any interest in that. Again, I suggested at the planning committee meeting that the committee may be interested in supporting the event.
I mean, obviously, this is from personal funds and not school funds.
Correct.
I would support certainly dividing by 7 and having the Burrillville School Committee represented for the meeting, so I'm not gonna make the motion, but,
I will.
okay.
I would second that.
Have a motion, a second, any further discussion?
How would that be advertised as far from the school committee? Would it be a sign?
It's going to be on the back of the T-shirts. Everyone who runs in the event gets a T-shirt. It'll be on the back of the T-shirts, and we also will have some signs up at the event. So we have a meeting, I believe it's early next week, and we want to make sure we have enough runners to run the event, and we have enough donations and sponsors to sponsor the event. So if we do, then we'll kind of finalize things from there, but we'll probably be putting signs up for the sponsors as well as the name on the T-shirt.
Okay, and I assume we each get a T-shirt.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
And is there a, like a Facebook presence that could be shared, social media presence that we could?
There's a flyer that's been up on Twitter, some Twitter accounts for a while. I know BPAC has a Facebook page. They put it up there as well.
Okay.
And it's been on all the school listservs. It's been in the schools. It's hanging up in our office.
Yeah, because I'll help.
I could send that out as well.
Yeah, I'll help promote that. That's,
I'll send that out to the committee.
maybe I'll participate. I'll have to see.
Excellent.
It's been a while, but.
That concludes my report. Happy to answer any other questions if you have any.
Does anyone have any questions for the superintendent?
Yeah, oh, I've got one. Ann had put her hand
Just
up.
want to make sure we finalize this with the vote of the
Okay.
500 divided by 7, that's all.
Okay, we have a motion, and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I did have a question, just related to the CIP work we're doing here. How does this relate to our obligations, the state mandates of the increased building maintenance?
It's
Is it-
separate and apart from the 1.5% that will eventually get to 3%.
Yeah,
That's for maintenance. This is for
Excuse
building
me, I'm sorry,
projects.
may I
Sure.
correct you?
Yeah.
If we receive funding from the town for capital improvements, that does fall under the category of 1.5%. So next year it would be 2%. So if we received funding, then yes.
okay, so this would be us requesting funds from the town council outside of our budget, our normal operating budget?
Right,
To
so
main-
normally the town council appropriates $400,000 roughly for our capital improvements
Yeah.
each year. But every 5 years, we go through the necessity of construction process. So that is where we'll have a list of the projects, and then we'll pull down the projects that we feel are realistic for the town to support. We'll go before the town council, and then they'll have to provide, they'll have to vote and actually provide a document that's a letter of intent to fund.
Right, but I think Donaldson's question is, if we are awarded funds and we use them, does that qualify towards the 1.5 or 2% that is
As
the new
long-
rule?
That's correct,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
As long
Is
as
that what you're
they're
asking, Don?
Yeah, right, because
building repairs.
Right.
I was under the,
Nothing outside the buildings, but anything related to the buildings themselves will be.
well, that's huge, right? Because I was under the impression it was an operating expense that we were gonna have to then figure out how to allocate, but we can then incorporate true CIP money into that and meet that.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
big.
That is big. Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Just to give you an idea on the process, If you remember, a few months ago, we had, Toronto was awarded the bid for their beginning of their educational master plan. So they went around some of the schools, met with Bill and Robin and I, and they've developed using both the Jacobs report, which was done by RIDE 2 or 3 years ago, and their own observations of the buildings. They developed a really long list of building needs, some of which are more pressing than others. So, I mean, the original list really needs to be looked at and culled down and prioritized. That's kind of where we are in the process now. The upcoming workshop and visioning session is all going to be about defining what our priorities are in relation to the buildings, what our needs are, and figuring out which projects we want to move forward with. And that will be our CIP plan for the next 5 years. So we're in year one, really, of our 5-year plan. The last 5-year plan, I believe we were awarded $5 million by the town, about $1 million a year over the 5-year course.
It's really a work in progress, because some of the things on their list are projects we've already completed, so
Yeah.
it will be together with them and.
And they do anything that could be upgraded in a building. So there are things like, redesigning classrooms to be a more user-friendly 21st century learning space, which sounds great. If you're building a new building, you absolutely would want to do that, but, reality, we're not going to knock walls down to create an open space when, we've got issues with roofs that may be leaking.
Right.
That's kind of where we are in the process now. They give us a soup to nuts list, and we've got to cull that down to find out what's realistic.
It goes out further than 5 years, doesn't it?
It does. There's going to be a demographic study as part of the piece that the facility master plan presents.
Because I thought I saw that some of the roofs that we've done not long ago, they already have put them back on a plan, to be done, which doesn't make sense. So it'll be a priority list.
Thank you.
Item 9, administrators' reports.
Not due until October.
Correct. Welcome back, administrators.
Welcome home.
Welcome home. Right. That includes you too, Bill. Item 10, reports of school committee subcommittees.
Mr. Chair, I can just let you know we are meeting, the policy subcommittee is meeting next week. We're going to be discussing the updates for the homeschool applications and the requirements to kind of bring us up to speed with the state guidelines.
Good. Does anyone have anything else? Okay, great. You don't need a motion for that, right?
No. I could just add that we do have a table reserved for the part of the Health and Wellness Committee, table reserved at the Healthy Breakfast Initiative, which is October 10th. So we have 10 seats. Robin and I will be attending, so there's 8 open seats if anyone would like to attend. Just shoot me an email, reserve your spot.
Where is it? Will it be in Warwick?
It's at Crown Plaza in Warwick.
Item 11, correspondence, communications. Cumberland School Committee resolution. I'd accept the motion to receive and file.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, discussion. Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Does anyone have anything else under correspondence, communication? Having none, we'll move on to 12, new business. Approve homeschool applications.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion is second, discussion. Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Overnight field trip request, EMS Washington DC.
Motion to approve.
And I'll second that.
Motion is second, any discussion? Having
Are they
none.
looking for chaperones? I'd be happy.
Look into that for you.
You might have to recuse. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Overnight field trip request, Burrillville High School cross-country team.
I'll make a motion to approve that request as presented.
Second. Motion second. Any discussion? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Surplus obsolete equipment.
Motion to approve the obsolete request.
Second.
A motion second. Any discussion?
Can you explain what this lift is?
I believe it's a chairlift, like a special needs handicap chairlift.
Where is it?
I don't know, Bill, any ideas where that chairlift is?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Great, anyone else? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Job description, elementary severe and profound disabilities teacher.
I'll make a motion to approve the job description for elementary severe and profound disabilities teacher.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, discussion. Sylvia?
First question, why do we need this job description?
We currently don't have a job description for that position.
All the others have job descriptions?
Yes.
And you have mild moderate in this job description also. And why is that in there?
Can you tell me where that is, Sylvia, so I can reference it?
It says implement, I'm under general responsibilities. One of them is implement effective teaching strategies for students with moderate to severe disabilities. And you have
Right.
the word moderate.
Yes, there may be students, I mean, it's a severe and profound program, and that teacher will have severe and profound certification, but there may be students that are presented in that class with moderate disabilities as well. But
So they need
the certification will be.
certifications?
No, you only need one certification for that. You have mild, moderate, and severe and profound, but there may be kids that present with some disabilities that are on the moderate end, but they also have other issues that'll be on the severe end, so they'd be assigned to a severe and profound teacher.
I do believe that severe profound is totally different from mild moderate. As
Correct.
far as the
Right, mild,
teaching
moderates, yeah,
practice.
exactly. You're right on target with that. The mild, moderates would be an entirely different job description.
And one other question, this pertains to existing staff that's just codifying their role, or are we gonna set this to?
We do have one elementary severe and profound disabilities teacher right now, but we are posting for another. We're adding a second. That program has gone from 10 students to 14 students in about the last month, so
Okay.
it's time to hire another teacher for that program.
And is that the program at Callahan School?
Stair Farm,
It's at Stair
that's
Farm.
Stair Farm.
And the Callahan School, is that severe profound?
No,
The TLC?
the TLC is a behavior program, I believe, but it's not severe and profound.
Because I do see behaviors in here too, emotional disabilities.
Correct.
Anyone else? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Appoint school committee member to BTA negotiation team. Dot Carden has requested, and I would appoint Dot Carden to the team. It would be myself and Dot Carden. Also, Dr. Salido and Robin kind of spearhead it and bring us back information. We disseminate that. The committee stays updated on everything that takes place, and as part of the negotiation, after it gets filtered out a little bit between Dr. Salido, Robin, and then it comes to us, and then it gets filtered to the school committee, I believe, right? Is the process?
Yes, if I can add, I'll also be sending a letter to the town council requesting a liaison from the town council to be on the committee as well.
Okay. Right. So I
Go
need a
ahead.
motion.
So moved.
So I have a motion, and I need a second, and then we can have discussion.
Could you name the people again? I didn't,
Let's get a second, and then we'll have
I'm sorry,
discussion. We have a
second.
motion,
Terry just seconded.
second, now we can have discussion. Terry?
okay. Who were the people again?
What?
Who were the people again that was gonna be on the,
Myself and Dot,
yeah?
and we are the members from the school committee, but the superintendent and the business manager get the ball rolling
And
and
then
do most of the, or all of the communication, direct communications with the teaching team.
Correct, with our attorney as well, Attorney Scunzio will be
The
a
attorney.
part of it.
So there are 5.
With the town council liaison, there'd be 6.
Okay, I'm missing one then. One other member of the school committee, is that what you said?
No, 2 members of the school committee, it would be Robin and myself, that's
Robin.
4.
Liaison.
Town
from
council
town.
liaison is 5, and then Ben Scunzio is 6.
Attorney.
Oh, the
Legal counsel.
lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Donis?
Yeah, well, a couple, what is the time frame for these negotiations, first off? When do the meetings begin to take place?
We're gonna start as soon as possible. We'll be meeting with Attorney Scunzio probably as soon as we have members on the negotiating committee and someone assigned from the town council. We'll have a preliminary meeting first, we're hoping in early October, and then reach out to the BTA and establish a meeting schedule after that. I would like to get some meetings scheduled as soon as possible.
And as far as historically, I think it's been, is it 2 members that have been historically on that committee?
At least
That's my
in my
understanding.
tenure, yeah.
And I don't think there's anything necessarily prohibiting another member to be part of that committee, if I'm,
For me, other than we get too close to a quorum with 3, and we try to avoid that on all our subcommittees, because 3 members gets us too close to a quorum.
if any other member were interested in being a part of this negotiating team, should that person then step forward at this point and also maybe be
Well,
considered?
Certainly that person could step forward, and that we would take it into consideration, sure.
All right, so on the floor now, we've got a motion
We
And
have
a
a
second.
motion, we're under discussion,
under discussion
Right.
for the 2 members of the committee that you've recommended.
correct. Correct. Anyone else?
Is it possible to recommend a town council member
No,
for our negotiating team?
no. The town council president will either do it himself, or he will appoint someone from the town council. So that's not our choice. So we have a motion and a second. We've had discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 1. So we have 1 opposed and 5 in favor. Motion passes. Item 13, committee comments on agenda items. Anyone?
I would just, I'm curious as to who started this high five program at the school. Do we know who's the,
Who started it?
well, how did it start? And the reason I'm asking is because the kids love it so much. I don't know who gets kudos for that, but the kids enjoy, when they pull up in the bus and see those kids out there waiting, it's High Five Friday, it's High Five.
Best
The
way to
kids-
start your Friday, for sure.
It's a great idea.
For the younger students and the older students, it's really good.
But for the younger students to see the older students like that and take interest in things like that, to me is,
So last year, one of our major goals as a district was to increase our K-12 articulation and to get the elementary kids interacting more with the high school kids and middle school kids, and
Yeah.
vice versa. So that was a big push last year. It was highly successful, so I'm continuing it this year.
it's.
It's been expanding too. Right now, it's athletics, but last year we had, the band kids wanted to do it. The robotics team actually brought the robot down and put a little hand on him, so he was high-fiving the kids.
I think
So
it's
really taken off.
great to see that, like when you do the, when the seniors walk through then graduation day, or was it the day before, whatever.
Yep,
It-
the
The
senior
kids
walk.
enjoy that so much, and I just think it's a
Gives them
wonderful
something
thing.
to look forward to.
Yeah.
It's,
I think more mentoring we can do, the better, because
I agree,
both young and older students really like the mentoring.
yeah,
So I think
Yeah.
it's nice how we can work that into the.
because they think they're cool when they see the high school kids coming to their schooling. So I just wanted to comment about that, and just
I agree.
whoever thought that idea, or whoever, thought up that idea, it's a wonderful thing for the kids,
Thank you.
so.
I have a recommendation too, on the same subject. I know in Douglas, Massachusetts, I have 2 grandkids that go to school there, and they have Fist Pump Friday, where they have, first a police
Fist
and
bump?
fist Fist bump?
Pump.
Yeah, spell pump.
Fist bump.
Fist bump.
Fist
got it
pump
down.
or fist
Bob's
bump?
got it right
Oh,
down.
Mark, get with the times.
But they have
I
first
knew what I was talking
responders
about.
there. And they, you know, the police and the fire are there to do that. So
Oh,
it
yeah,
would be a
that's
nice
cool.
idea to
Yeah.
have, once in a while, to have.
I think we did that twice last year, where the
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
responders
but
were there
just,
as well.
you know,
Yep.
Yeah.
half an hour.
Get the police and the fire department to
Yeah,
do this with the kids.
Yeah, all right.
it's good stuff.
Yeah, that's great. I agree. That'd be great. Anyone else? Okay, having none. Pending issues, we have none at this time. Item 15.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you.